Hello, it's me, Mr.Long. We are back for Let's Build a Castle, and yeah, we have shaders, and oh my god, they are amazing, and yeah, they're bloody amazing. Welcome to the episode, everybody. So let's get started, and you can see how I created this today. So let's get on that. So we start our build today by building our stone bridge over to the main area from the Lord's Hall. We use stone brick, chiseled stone, cobblestone stairs, and stone brick stairs. Also cobbled half slabs, as you can see here. We bring it over this little ravine here, and we copy the chiseled stone sort of design on this side. Also putting some stone brick stairs underneath. So when we come over here, I start using cobblestone blocks to sort of make the sides of the bridge. But I thought I really want to use the stone brick stairs as it looks so much nicer, and it continues the theme from underneath those chiseled stone pieces. So coming over this side now, we are building the archway to the main area, and it exactly mirrors the design of the Lord's Hall archway, which you can see just opposite this archway here. Just placing some torches now so we can add some light to this area when it becomes night. I also thought the bridge kind of looked lacking underneath, so we put some pillars to look like this thing was being held up by something. I also dug away some of the dirt to make this ravine a little bit bigger, because it just doesn't look... For this big stone bridge, it just needed to look a little bit deeper, a little bit bigger, a little bit wider. I put some lots of torches down just so we could see whilst I was building at night. It gets kind of dark down here once night falls. Using these stone stairs to sort of make... I don't know how to describe it, just to sort of make the bottom look a little bit more natural. I don't really know. No, probably not natural. Just a bit more. Just looks a little bit better, you know. So yes, I am continuing. I've put some torches either side. Those are permanent, and I was just checking here that it was exactly midway. And I just thought I would show some short little cinematic shots to show off the looks of the shaders and moving around the buildings and stuff, and it just looks absolutely beautiful. And yeah, this just blows me away. The game looks 10 times better, and you can see the torches glowing red and ominous, and it's just it makes this whole build a lot more fun for me, and probably a lot more pleasant for you guys to view. It's a lot more beautiful. And just for your guys' information, I'm using the Conquest texture pack and the Silder's Vibrant Shaders version 1.141. So we're just coming over here to start building the perimeter wall all the way around this hilltop. Now this takes me quite a while actually. There's a lot of blocks to place, even though it's just a couple at a time, because this is just the basic outline that I'm doing here. So in the meantime, I thought I would discuss some things about the channel whilst we are, you know, going through this whole wall section here. That takes a bloody long time. Trust me, this build absolutely astonishingly long. And this horse really annoyed me. It kept coming in my face when I was trying to do this. Yeah, very bloody annoying. Anyway, so stuff about the channel. Well, what do I want to talk about the channel? Let's see. Well, yes, the channel plans. We have plans to perhaps in future maybe do some live streaming. Maybe. We're thinking about that. I was thinking of maybe getting Kyle or Alex to sort that out if they wanted to do that sort of thing. We also briefly thought about doing podcasting, but well, we'll have to see how that goes. We have to see how everything pans out. And also, at the moment, that won't be happening at the moment because everybody's kind of struggling to bring out content. I'm the only one who's really able to do anything because Alex is always busy. James, I don't want him making videos because his stuff buzzes like crazy when he records. So he also said that's probably a good idea. It's mostly his idea, to be honest. Kyle, he doesn't like doing videos on his own. He finds it weird. So basically, he's basically stopping himself from doing content. I'm gonna try and get him to do something. And yeah, Alex and Kyle and all that will be making videos. Though, trust me. They will make at least one video each per month. So you know, every month you get me and maybe a few other little things sprinkled in there just to spice things up, because you know you can't just watch me like every week, can you? I mean, there's got to be something from these other guys. Plus these let's builds will be bi-weekly because they take bloody long to do, and we're just doing the outline for the gatehouse if you're wondering what that is. Yeah, so these let's builds take a long time to do, and they're kind of, you know, they're kind of time consuming. And I'm thinking of doing, so they're going to be done bi-weekly, so in the week I can do a couple more videos than I usually be able to do, because you know the other guy's having a lack of you know, you're not being able to do a whole lot. So yes, here we are coming around, building another tower outline. We're going all the way around to the Lord's Hall again. And yeah, maybe I should talk a little bit about what I'm doing myself, like on the channel, because I've only got, well, I do record the main Tech-It episodes, but I'm also planning on doing maybe some city skylines. Oh yes, I also pre-ordered Planet Coaster. I know pre-ordering games is not the smartest thing to do, but Planet Coaster looks freaking awesome. And from the alpha footage, it looks like it's going to be one of my favourite games this year. And here's just an overview of what the outline of the city, well, the town will look like. It's not quite a city, it's kind of smaller. And yes, here's just a little view of what you can see here. Yes, just a little bit more of this sort of cinematic shots kind of thing, just to show you what the shaders look like in game, with the trees rustling and all the leaves going. I think all the leaves going is a normal Minecraft thing, but it just kind of looks better with the sort of the way the sun bounces off everything. So yeah, there you go. Very nice little look at the walls. And oh yes, off camera I went around and built all these walls up, so that's why I'm showing you this extra long shot, because this took me freaking ages just to go all the way around, fill out all the consistencies and build the wall to the same height as everything else. So moving on to the next shot here, we are starting over here with by the Lord's Hall and building up these walls and making sure this mud looks right, because you know I kind of want it. I don't want it to look kind of bad. I want it to look all nice and sort of like it's meant to be like that, instead of unnatural and all sort of. Anyway, we're going to build another archway here, and it's going to be this looks very nice. I think this is one of my favourite parts that I've done with the waterfall. Oh yeah, oh, I spoiled it for everybody. Oh yeah, there's going to be a waterfall, yeah. It's going to look very nice. So yeah. So we're just coming around here, and we're building the little slots to the side, because we're going to put a little gate here over the waterfall, because you got to remember this is also, it has to be defensive, because it's a sort of castle. Well, it is a castle around a town that will defend it from whatever attacks this place. You know, it's got to be a defensive thing, so there'll be gates and fences everywhere. Obviously a gate isn't that great, but you got to remember this is also very steep, and yeah, a gate by itself isn't that great, but this is also very steep around the edges. So you know, using the gates and all that kind of stuff with the waterfall and like the moaty kind of like lakey kind of things around the outside, it's gonna be great. And yes, I do build some little lakes around the edges here, and this leads up to the Royal Waterfall, which I thought I'd add, and it looks very nice in the end. This is obviously not what it looks in the final thing. I just kept messing around with it until it worked. Yes, and as I keep saying, this build was probably one of the longest I've done in a while, and I'm just putting some torches down so you can see in the dark once again. Yeah, because it gets very dark with these shaders on, darker than usual, because everything's very, you know, it's a shader. Everything's like slightly shaded and coloured differently. So yeah, so we're building this archway a little bit up again, and we're just going to come in here and make sure everything is symmetrical, because it needs to be exactly the same in order for this to work properly. So yes, this I've got to say though, in the end this looks very nice, and you got to be thinking, why am I using so much brick? It's because I want to just use a lot of one thing and then come around using other materials to make a nice contrast, and that's what really makes this look nice. And this is a little bit of a cinematic shot with the completed waterfall, and it just looks so good. It looks way better when it's done. Yes, and here's an overhead shot of the bird's eye view of the lakes. And yes, now we're coming around to actually do the walls. I'm using half slabs because I want to have this the walls around the edge raised up slightly. Yes, and we're also going to have the walls, some parts of the walls slightly hollow, so you can walk around the inside. I did say this was earlier that this was all looks over practicality, but this I kind of want it to be a little bit practical. You know, it can't be 100%, you know, just looks. It has to be functional in a way that we can make some pretty cool spaces inside these buildings and stuff. Inside these walls so far. We haven't actually, that's a new word. We haven't actually, made any buildings yet. Maybe the Lord's Hall counts. It's more of like a fortress sort of thing. But yes, we're coming around and doing the walls that will encircle the main settlement. And as you can see, I'm using a lot of crossfades because it takes a freaking long time, and it feels like a year when I built this. And if you're wondering why I'm leaving that wall there slightly lopsided, well, in a future episode you'll see I'm going to put something pretty special there. I was trying to think of ways to make the walls look a bit unique in certain places, and oh my god, I think I found the perfect thing. So yes, you may see a special episode of Let's Build a Castle, or whatever I decide to call the episode, which I do. I think I might call it Let's Build a... Well, I can't say because I'll be spoiling it. So yeah, in the future you'll see that. So I'm just coming up and building one of the first towers along the walls. And yes, it took me a while to decide what design I wanted to do, but in the end I decided on this sort of raised out sort of bit at the top. And yeah, it looks quite nice using stone brick stairs and lots of cobblestone. Yeah, it still took quite a while to decide, but I managed to. It did look a little bit wrong, and I was trying to find out what was making it look wrong, and I just couldn't get my head around what it was. So I came back, and you can probably see here I've already raised up off camera, and there you go. It looks a little bit better now. And it also looked wrong because I needed to add the little bits around the edge of the castle to make it stand out a little less, because it sticks out like a sore thumb at the moment. It just doesn't look quite right. So I went round and added all these little bits around the edge, and I'm rolling my tongue a lot this episode, I've noticed. I'm not sure if any of you have noticed that, but I have sure noticed that whilst recording all of this, you know, little audio bits after the video. It's this one, I keep going on about how long these take. You do not know. This took me hours. I was watching the clock just spin around whilst I was building this. I was like, Jesus. And yes, here I struggled to rebuild this little bit I destroyed in order to make this little stairway up to the top. So in the end I did manage to make a little access way up to the top there. It doesn't look quite right. I might go back and fix it in between episodes. I'm not quite sure. I might just leave it. It looks alright actually. It doesn't look too bad once it's done. So yeah, it looks a bit wrong now, but you just add that little bit up there and you knock off a few of these bits up here, and it begins to look alright. And all the shaders just keep, it's so good. The shaders are just amazing. Every time I see the little bit of sun ray or moon ray, because it's nighttime right now, come through onto the camera, it just looks absolutely stunning, and it just makes life easier for me whilst I'm building, because it's a lot easier on my eyes, and it just makes this whole thing look so nice. Apart from the night times make it a little bit harder because it's freaking dark at night time with these shaders. It might not be so dark for you guys, but when you're like trying to build and see what you're doing, it's a little bit difficult. And it really does look nice, this little castle-y wall thing that I'm doing, if I do say so myself. So I've come back around here to build the walls up where the little archway is. This will look different in the end. It's just a temporary thing for now. I'm just doing a little temporary fix to make this thing fit in a little bit more with the walls that I have built so far. And saying stuff to about 20 minutes or so of footage all the way through, it hurts your throat, and it's very hard to think of stuff to say constantly. But luckily I'm a talkative person. I talk a lot. I ramble on about things for ages, and luckily that is a good little bit of filler that I can put in there. I like to think my episodes don't really have filler, but I need to fill in the space with something, and I need to keep talking all the way through to try and entertain, I guess. I don't know if you could call it that. Just to keep you guys company, I guess. You don't want any awkward silences all the way through. Yes, and we're just building up the second tower here. Yes, going around. This wall was a little bit awkward because it was very sort of strangely shaped. So it took me a while to decide on how I was going to get these sort of designed to continue around all the way around like it had. So I moved some things around and changed up a few things, and I managed to make it look a little bit better in the end. But yeah, it was a very awkward wall to work with. It's not very nice. It wasn't very nice to work with. And then I remembered that I don't need these bits at the back because that's only for the front, and I copied the design over here. And it kept raining quite a lot in the whilst I was building. I kept having to turn it off in between shooting. So we're coming to the end of the video now, and we're just adding a little bit of wood to the top of these towers. And yeah, so if you like this video, please like it. If you want to subscribe, please subscribe, and yeah. Okay, everybody, I know I didn't finish, but hey, that was a really long build, and if we look at this from the sky, it's a pretty big accomplishment. Look at all those blocks I've placed today, and this is all without mods or anything. So yeah, this is just all placed. It's obviously in creative mode, which is the only thing. And if this was in survival, oh my god, this would have taken like years to build. This was so hard to do. It took me ages. And I think I'm going to draw up a plan that I'll show you right now. As you can see here, the different colours represent different buildings. Green represents parks or open spaces or plazas. The purple represents taverns. Dark reddy brown is houses. Pink is a holy building. Black is for blacksmith. Orange is for stables. And grey is for graveyards. Yeah, put a few puns in there if you didn't notice that. I know, I should really stop. And yeah. Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I'll see you next time.